Welcome to another edition of the CS Podcast, where you can hear interviews with special guests such as
Dayon Buchanan, Tom Waddle, Pierre Desir, Brent Barry, Ed Werder,
and many others.
Too big, too strong, too fast, too good.
So be sure to subscribe and tune in to the CS Podcast on YouTube at youtube.com/ChristianRE722.
Did you not get the memo?
That's www.youtube.com/ChristianRE722 for great interviews. Be sure to check out the CS Podcast.
You are ridiculous.
Welcome back to the CS Podcast. I'm your host, Chris Shanafel, and I'm now joined by 2014 NFL Draft prospect, defensive back out of Oregon, Avery Bradley. Thanks for joining the show, Avery. How's it going?
It's going good. I'm just glad to be on the show.
Hey, the pleasure's all mine. So we're going to be talking about your college football career, and I'll just go ahead and throw out the fact that you did redshirt your first year due to injury at Oregon, and during the 2010 season, you played in all 13 games, but you started the season off hot. Can you tell us about that very first college football interception you had at Oregon, who it was against and what it felt like?
Yeah, it was my first game getting some action to Division I football, and I just got out there and just went and tried to make a play. Just played loose and played free, and got my first interception in my first game. I thought it would be easy from there.
You guys finished that 2010 season undefeated, 9-0, and met Auburn in the BCS National Championship game. Although you guys lost that game in a close one, 22-19, what was it like to just get that experience of playing in the biggest game of college football?
It was a great experience. I got to play a few kickoffs that game. I made a tackle in the national championship game, so it was a great feeling and a great experience for me going into my sophomore year.
Now I want to fast forward to this past season, Avery. Chip Kelly, who was your head coach for the previous 4 years, including that redshirt year, decided to take the head coaching job with the Philadelphia Eagles. When you found out, what was your reaction like when you found out that he'd be heading to the NFL?
It was kind of shocking, because he had told us that he wasn't going to be taking any jobs anywhere else immediately after the season, but I guess he mulled it over with some of his family and friends. Decided it was best for him to go on to the next level. So it was kind of shocking, but we were still eager for our season to get started and for our new head coach.
Now, Avery, during your time at Oregon, you played both cornerback and safety. Can you tell us what the major differences between those two positions are, and is there one that you feel more comfortable playing than the other?
Yeah, they're similar positions, but at the same time, they both have different aspects. And for me, I know being a safety, I enjoy it a lot more. Just because you have a lot more room to do things and a lot more freedom. And whereas at corner, you kind of isolate into guarding your man almost every play and to one side of the field. If the ball doesn't come to your side of the field, then a lot of the times you won't be in on the action. And at free safety, I was able to make a lot of the defensive back calls, and I learned a lot more playing safety than I did at corner. At corner, I just kind of listened to my safety, and whatever he told me to do, that I did. And at safety, I just felt more comfortable coming downhill and making plays on the ball.
Avery, this past season was your senior year. I'm curious, what were your personal expectations for this past season, and would you say that you met those standards?
I feel like I could have did a little bit better. There were some interceptions that I missed out on and some plays that I missed out on, but overall I think I had a decent season, and I was happy with the way I came back from my injury, and it's only going to get better from here.
Throughout your entire college football career at Oregon, being an Oregon Duck, what would you say was the most memorable play that you've made?
The most memorable play I made is probably in my last college game against Texas. 3 plays into the game, within like a minute of the game, I had an interception to start off the game, and I think it helped our team really springboard onto a great win against the powerhouse like Texas.
Yeah, you can't go wrong with making big plays in bowl games. Chris Shanfeld talking with 2014 NFL draft prospect, defensive back out of the University of Oregon, Avery Patterson. And just a few more questions, then I'll let you go, Avery. I really do appreciate your time. When was it when you found out that the NFL can not only be a dream, but it could become a reality?
For me, it's always been a dream. I guess going into college, going to a big time university like Oregon, that's when it became real. And I just kept my head down and kept focused on the next day at hand, and really focused on each day, and knew if I accomplished my much smaller goals and a much larger goal like this, making it to the NFL and achieving this high level of play, then it would all come together at some point in time.
Absolutely. Now, if you would compare yourself to a defensive back currently playing in the NFL today, whether it's a cornerback or whether it's a safety, who do you think that would be and why?
Being in the Pacific Northwest, I caught a lot of Seahawks games, and I kind of resemble myself after Earl Thomas. He's not a much bigger safety like you see, but nowadays with the spread offenses, there's a lot more faster and quicker safeties in the NFL, and I think I resembled more of that mold of a fast and playmaking type of safety, and with the ability to tackle still. And I see a lot of the same qualities in him as in my game, and just the playmaking ability that he possesses at the safety position is incredible, and I think I bring that aspect to a team.
In the words of Stephen A. Smith, Earl Thomas is a bad man. That is a good, that arguably the best safety. I would say he's the best safety in the NFL, so you cannot go wrong with that. And Avery, there's a nice group of safeties from the University of Oregon playing in the NFL. You got Patrick Chung, T.J. Ward, John Boyette from last year. Now, maybe it was one of those guys, or maybe it was somebody else. Has anybody given you any advice on what to expect at the next level?
Definitely. I talk to those guys a lot. TJ and John, who's one of my best friends, who kind of grew me into the safety position as I made that transition from corner. So, I talk to those guys a lot, and they just tell me to be ready for the playbook, and gotta really become a pro. It's not going to be just about school and everything else. This is your job, and you're going to be a pro at this level. So that's what they kind of tell me, and I think I'm ready for it.
Let's say there's an NFL general manager out there listening to this very interview. Why should he want Avery Patterson, defensive back out of Oregon, on his team?
I think just because I'm a passionate person in everything I do, whether it's working out or with my family or playing the game of football. I'm just a passionate and passionate person about everything I am, everything I do, and I think I bring a different aspect to the safety position than some of the other safeties in this draft or some of the other safeties in the NFL, with my ability to make plays. With my ability to make plays based off my intelligence and instinct. So, I think I just bring a different aspect to the safety position that not a lot of GMs or coaches have seen.
May 8th through May 10th is the NFL draft. We got less than 2 weeks. I got to ask you, man, how excited are you? I got to think you're anxious and ready to hear your name called.
I am. I'm pretty excited. When I finally get a call from a coach or a GM, it's going to be a dream come true. Just having the opportunity to be to play at the next level.
Well, hey, Avery, man, I really do appreciate your time on the show. You were a playmaker at Oregon, and I expect you to be a playmaker at the next level. I'm wishing you nothing but the best. Before I let you go, is there anything you'd like to say to myself and our listeners?
No, just that thank you and grateful for you having me on your show, and thank you.
All right, thanks, Avery. Best of luck, man. Take care.
All right, thank you.
Thanks for tuning into the CS Podcast. I hope you enjoyed. Please check out all of my past interviews at www.youtube.com/ChristianRE722. Once again, that's www.youtube.com/ChristianRE722. And be sure to follow me on Twitter at Chris Shanafelt.